easier.
Dan's Christmas Day will be spent huddled on a pavement. John can't remember a Christmas he wasn't on the streets. Lauren would rather face Christmas alone than face the abuse at home. Living on the streets is tough at any time of year, but imagine how it feels at Christmas when you're shivering with cold and everyone else is celebrating. Will you help bring a homeless person in from the cold? Call 0800 140 4433 and give £19 or whatever you can afford to the Salvation Army. Every day of the year, including Christmas, we open our doors and hearts to homeless people. We can't solve all their problems, but with your £19, we can show them someone cares and give them the chance of a fresh start. So please, think of those facing the bleakest of Christmases and call 0800 140 4433 today. Thank you.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has held the first bilateral meet with newly elected Sri Lankan President Dissanayake at Delhi's Hyderabad House. India and Sri Lanka are set to sign 4 key agreements, including one on cyber security. President Dissanayake chose India as his first port call overseas after taking office. Earlier on Monday, President Draupadi Murmu accorded a ceremonial welcome to the Sri Lankan President at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Tabla maestro Zakir Hussain has passed away in a hospital in San Francisco. His family has confirmed. The 73-year-old Zakir Hussain died from complications arising out of idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. He had been in the hospital for the past 2 weeks and was shifted to the intensive care unit after his condition deteriorated. Regarded as the greatest tabla player of his generation, Zakir Hussain is survived by his wife and 2 daughters. Born on the 9th of March 1951, he was the son of legendary tabla master Ustad Allah Rakha. Bangladesh's interim leader Muhammad Yunus, who heads the caretaker government installed after an August revolution, has said that general elections will be held late 2025 or in early 26. Now, pressure has been growing on the Nobel Peace Prize winner to set an election date. Yunus was appointed the country's chief advisor after the student-led uprising that toppled ex-premier Sheikh Hasina in August. Bangladesh's deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has launched a fierce attack on the interim administration, accusing its chief advisor Muhammad Yunus of running a quote-unquote fascist regime that allows terrorists and fundamentalists to act without restraint. In a virtual address to a gathering of overseas Awami League supporters in London on Sunday, Hasina accused Yunus of being the mastermind behind the July-August turmoil that ousted her and vowed to bring him to justice under the Bangladeshi law. Hasina has criticized Yunus and his interim government for their alleged persecution of religious minorities in Bangladesh. At least several hundred people are feared to have been killed after the worst cyclone in almost a century ripped through the French-Indian overseas territory Mayotte on Saturday, uprooting trees, tearing houses apart, and pounding the impoverished archipelago's already weak infrastructure. Rescuers have been dispatched to the islands, which lie between the coast of Mozambique and Madagascar. But their efforts are likely to be hindered by damage to airports and electricity distribution in an area where clean drinking water is subject to chronic shortages. The archipelago's prefect has said he has rather confirmed toll of 11 dead was likely to soar over the coming days. Israel's government has agreed to double its population in the occupied Golan Heights, while saying threats from Syria remain, despite the moderate tone of rebel leaders who forcibly removed President Bashar al-Assad a week ago. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a statement, has said strengthening the Golan is strengthening the state of Israel, and it is especially important at this time. We will continue to hold on to it, cause it to blossom and settle it in.
אין לנו עניין להתעמת עם סוריה. אנחנו נקבע את מדיניות ישראל כלפי סוריה לפי המציאות המתהווה בשטח. אני מזכיר שבמשך עשרות שנים סוריה הייתה מדינת אויב אקטיבית לישראל. היא תקפה אותנו שוב ושוב, היא אפשרה לאחרים לתקוף אותנו משטחה, היא אפשרה לאיראן לחמש את חיזבאללה דרך שטחה.
Israeli strikes have reportedly targeted military sites in Syria's coastal Tartus region, with the Syria War Monitor calling them the heaviest strikes in the area in more than a decade. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights has said Israeli warplanes launched strikes targeting a series of sites, including air defense and surface-to-surface missile depots. The Syrian group claims these are the heaviest strikes in Syria's coastal region since the start of the strikes in 2012. Former Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad airlifted nearly 2 tons of cash worth $250 million to Russia during 2018 and 2019, as per documents that the Financial Times has reviewed. Now, Syria's toppled dictator secretly transported around $250 million in cash to Moscow over a 2-year period, during which Syria heavily relied on Russia's support. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said he spoke with US President-elect Donald Trump about developments in Syria and a recent push to secure the release of Israeli and foreign hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. Netanyahu said he spoke with Trump on Saturday night about the issue, which will loom large as one of the main foreign challenges facing Trump when he takes office if it is not resolved before he is sworn in on the 20th of January next year. The Wall Street Journal has reported that a secretive Russian intelligence agency is behind Moscow's most intense campaign of repression since the 1950s. The story, first written by journalist reporter Ivan Gershkovich, since he was freed after 16 months in a Russian prison, spotlights the Department for Counterintelligence Operations, which led to Gershkovich's arrest initially. Russia has claimed that its forces hit multiple Ukrainian military targets, including a fighter jet, on Sunday. This, while Ukraine claims that its troops have repelled Russian attacks as fierce battles continue raging on between the warring parties. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces has reported over 100 fights on the front lines as of Sunday afternoon. Ukrainian forces announced that the Russian army launched intensive attacks in the directions of Pokrovsk and Kurakov, and that they continue to hold positions and have repelled several of Moscow's attacks. Han Dong-hoon has resigned as the leader of South Korea's ruling People's Power Party, saying his position has become untenable after his dramatic decision to support President Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment over the weekend. Speaking at a press conference, Han said, and I quote, "Martial law is the advanced nation that is South Korea in 2024. How angry and disappointed must you all have been?" His announcement comes as the Constitutional Court said it has begun reviewing Yoon's impeachment without giving further details. Now, investigators also plan to question the president this week, according to Yonhap News. Han, once Yoon's closest ally, former Justice Minister, defended his decision to break with the president after he attempted to impose martial law earlier this month.
국민의힘 당 대표직을 내려놓습니다. 최고위원들의 사퇴로 최고위가 붕괴되어 더 이상 당 대표로서의 정상적인 임무 수행이 불가능해졌습니다. 이번 비상계엄 사태로 고통받으시는 모든 국민들께 진심으로 죄송합니다.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz faces a confidence vote. He is expected to lose today, paving the way for a snap election early 2025. Scholz himself called the vote, and if he loses, he will have to ask Germany's President Frank-Walter Steinmeier to dissolve parliament in a process which would trigger fresh elections. New elections must be held within 60 days of parliament being dissolved in Germany. Scholz, who leads the central-left Social Democrats or the SPD party, reached an agreement with opposition parties to hold early federal election on the 23rd of February next year. Pro-European Union protesters took to the streets in Georgia as an electoral college dominated by the ruling party has chosen a new president, known for his vehement anti-West views and opposition to LGBTQ rights. Here are the details. Former soccer player Mikhail Kalevashvili became president of Georgia on Saturday, as the ruling party tightened its grip in what the opposition calls a blow to the country's European Union aspirations and a victory for former imperial ruler Russia. The new president, who was the only candidate on the ballot, easily won the vote given the Georgian Dream Party's control of a 300-seat electoral college that replaced direct presidential elections in 2017. It is made up of members of parliament, municipal councils, and regional legislatures. According to reports, Argentina's President Javier Milei has been granted Italian citizenship while on a state visit to the country. Now, Milei, who has 3 Italian grandparents who emigrated to Argentina in 1926, before he was even born, was accorded it on the grounds of ius sanguinis, or his bloodline, the spokesperson said. Milei's sister and political advisor Carina Milei was also granted Italian citizenship during the visit to Rome, during which the pair attended the political convention of the Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's far-right Brothers of Italy party. US President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris thanked deep-pocketed Democratic donors on Sunday. Now, these are the same donors who raised record sums in last month's election loss to President-elect Donald Trump and urged them not to lose hope and to remain politically engaged. Now, Biden and Harris, along with their spouses, in remarks at the Democratic National Committee holiday reception, sought to buckle up key donors who the Democratic Party needs to stay committed as it tries to pick up the pieces. Republicans scored a decisive victory, taking the White House and Senate while maintaining control of the House in an election where donors of all political stripes spent about $4.7 billion American dollars.
We all get knocked down. My dad would say, when you get knocked down, you just got to get up. Get up. The measure of a person or a party is how fast they get back up. And to know what we believe in is really worth fighting for.
We are here tonight to thank you all for the work that you have done. And it has been tireless work. When it mattered most, through the entire campaign, including those 107 days, you all rallied. You rallied. You opened your homes. You reached out to your friends and your family. You put your personal capital, and by that I mean your relationships.
Fijian Health and Tourism Authorities said on Monday that 7 foreign tourists have been hospitalized in Fiji with nausea, vomiting, and neurological symptoms after drinking cocktails at the bar of a resort. Taking to local media in Canberra on Monday, Australia's Treasurer Jim Chalmers said it was a very concerning incident. Now, the group included 4 Australians and an American, according to local news reports. They were drinking together at the 5-star Warwick Resort near the town of Sigatoka before they became ill.
The last thing I wanted to say was about the situation in Fiji. This is very concerning news out of Fiji, with 4 Australians hospitalised over the weekend. We are thinking of the friends and family of the people who are affected. This is no doubt a very distressing time for them. DFAT officials are in contact with those affected Australians, and they're providing consular assistance. I wanted to thank and acknowledge the very fine people of DFAT for the effort that goes in situations like this. Fiji police are investigating to determine the cause of the illnesses, and we'll try and keep people updated as that investigation continues.
Video of a tornado which overturned cars and toppled trees and utility poles in California's Scotts Valley on Saturday afternoon was captured on a bar's door camera. Now, Bruno's Bar and Grill shared the footage, which showed the twister after it touched down near a shopping mall in the city about 110 kilometers south of San Francisco. The Scotts Valley PD said several people were injured and taken to nearby hospitals. The rare tornado activity in California came amid a wider winter storm across the state, with heavy snow and strong winds recorded in Sierra Nevada ski resorts. The Ahe Highway is the second to cut through the Talakpan Desert, following the Tarim Highway in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Recently, the Ahe Highway has embarked on its first winter operation. Due to the highway's high altitude, significant elevation changes, complex road conditions, and the frequent snowfall during winter, the local transportation department utilizes a diverse array of methods tailored to the thickness and hardness of the snow to guarantee the secure transit of tourists. Now, these efforts are made to maximize the smoothness of the highway and to enable tourists to pass through without any difficulty.
What's wrong with the car?
It's okay, lads. I'm with the AA. Bombay mix.
Because the AA has more expert patrols across the country, you'll be back on the road in no time. No wonder more people choose the AA. Join today.
During World War II, my great-granddad, George Arthur Roberts, was one of the everyday people who volunteered in the fire service and became heroes by night. He was awarded the British Empire Medal. It was thanks to my great-granddad and his fellow volunteers that there was a city to wake up to.
Discover the untold stories of World War II in millions of records and bring your backstory to life with Ancestry.
Bingo lovers, it's time for a close encounter with Bingo Aliens. Visit bingoaliens.com/bingo for a cosmic range of bingo games. 75-ball bingo, even 90-ball bingo. All from a galaxy far away, direct to you. Taking bingo to another dimension at bingoaliens.com/bingo.
Where can my presents be hidden? Can Santa find us if we don't have a chimney? What if we don't have any food for Rudolph? Is Santa ever late? Why am I always alone?
At Childline, children are asking us the most heartbreaking questions, even on Christmas Day.
It's okay. I'm here.
When was the last time somebody was with you?
This Christmas, a child will contact us every 45 seconds. Will you give £20 and help us be ready for every question when a child has no one else to turn to? Search NSPCC or call 0800 702 2976 to give £20 now.
Quickly remove unwanted hairs with the new U-Body and Face Trimmer from JML. Your pain-free way to tackle any unwanted hairs that pop out of nowhere. The wide dual head design and floating heads adjust to the curves of your skin. Gentle enough to use on your upper lip, knees and ankles, and even your bikini line. No nicks, cuts or irritation. Remove unwanted hairs anytime, anywhere with the new U-Body and Face Trimmer. Only $19.99 from Asda, Argos, Boots, Tesco and JMLDirect.com. JML, your Christmas made easier.
Bitcoin surged to a record high yet again, above $106,000 in early Asian trade on Monday, extending gains made since Republican Donald Trump, who has promised to champion cryptocurrencies, was elected U.S. president in November. The price rose in the new reports over the weekend that Trump would go ahead with a Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Fund. When asked if he plans to build a crypto reserve similar to oil reserves, Trump had said, "Yes, I think so." Now, other countries have also been considering cryptocurrency strategic reserves. Russia's President Vladimir Putin said earlier this month, while he was questioned and has questioned the need to hold state reserves in foreign currencies, saying that domestic investment of such reserves was more attractive. The United Kingdom has become the 12th member of the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or the CPTPP. The previous British government signed the Accession Treaty last year, with more members of the bloc having since ratified the UK's entry. Officials hope membership could boost Britain's struggling economy by as much as $2.5 billion American dollars per year. The country is trying to strike new trade deals abroad in the aftermath of leaving the European Union following its 2016 referendum on Brexit, with EU member states still accounting for over 40% of UK exports and more than 50% of imports from the UK. Official data shows that China's new home prices have fallen at the slowest pace in 17 months, as the government scaled up stimulus measures to lift the crisis-hit property sector. According to reports based on National Bureau of Statistics data, new home prices were down 0.1% month-on-month, after a 0.5% dip in October, the slowest pace since June last year. In annual terms, new home prices fell 5.7% after a 5.9% drop the previous month. Australia's corporate regulator has initiated legal action against the local affiliate of global bank HSBC, claiming it failed to correctly respond about 950 reports of customers losing close to $1 million or more. Now, the Australian Securities and Investments Commission is alleging HSBC took, on an average, 145 days to look into matters related to unauthorized payments and transactions. Asian stock markets were in a wary mood on Monday as surging bond yields challenged equity valuations, particularly for the rich-priced tech sector, in a week packed with central bank meetings and major economic data. Figures from China out on Monday reveal retail sales have risen just 3% in November compared to a year earlier. This was well below the market forecast of 4.6% and evidence of the need for much more aggressive stimulus. Industrial production was much as expected, while house prices were still falling, though at a slower pace. Fox Sports commentator and former England cricketer Issa Guha has courted trouble. Now, this happened after allegedly making a racially sensitive comment about Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah live on air during the second day of the India versus Australia third test at the Gabba in Brisbane. The incident happened during the first session of the second day of the test at the Gabba. Issa Guha was in the commentary booth with former Australian cricketer Brett Lee. The latter was describing the impact that the Indian pacer spearheaded, who has claimed 5 wickets for 72 runs in Australia's first innings, was having on the match. Guha replied, "Well, he's the MVP, isn't he? Most valuable primate." Jasprit Bumrah. Red Bull driver and F1 2024 world champion Max Verstappen has finally served his punishment for swearing in an FIA press conference at the Singapore Grand Prix. It came ahead of Friday's FIA prize-giving ceremony in Rwanda, where Verstappen was accompanied by FIA President Mohammed Bel Sulayem. Verstappen was forced to undertake some community service work after swearing during a press conference in Singapore in September. Now, Drake's lookalike winner has just been crowned in Canada with a hefty cash prize of $10,000. The 38-year-old rapper's lookalike competition was the latest in line, following Harry Styles, Glenn Powell, and of course, Timothée Chalamet. However, Drake decided to join in on the fun, adding a generous donation to the winner's pool ahead of the big day. The Spider-Man spin-off Kraven the Hunter got off to a disastrous start in North American theaters this weekend. Studio estimates Sunday show the movie starring Aaron Taylor Johnson earned only $11 million. This weekend's other major studio release was Warner Bros. Animated The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, which made $5 million. Meanwhile, Moana 2 easily beat out the new releases, becoming the fourth highest grossing film of this year with $717 million globally. Wicked also continued to perform and cross the 500 million threshold worldwide.
That's why I need you.
The Prison Break reboot has received a major update, generating buzz amongst fans of the original series. Created by Paul Scheuring, the series is set to return with a fresh yet familiar lineup, including iconic stars Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell. Both actors will reprise their roles from the original series, ensuring that Prison Break enthusiasts are in for a thrilling new chapter in the saga. The original Prison Break series first aired on Fox in 2005, quickly becoming a fan favorite with its gripping plot and intense drama.
Jim has no home this Christmas. Sam's Christmas will bring no comfort and joy. Jake will spend Christmas unwanted and forgotten. This Christmas, please help the Salvation Army reach out to people without a home by calling 0800 655 6180. Your £19 could bring cheer to a homeless person, practical support to families, and a fresh start for a young person. Please help now. Thank you.
Some people think life slows down in your 50s, but I've got a few rounds left to go. And I don't want my lot to have to worry about funeral costs. Let them spend their money on nicer things. So I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today. Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period, unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years for full cover. With Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one, and you're covered for the whole of your life. Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Go online or talk to their friendly UK team in just one phone call.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period and no annoying trips to the doctors either. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Now I'm with Cover Today, I can get on with something much more interesting.
To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0800 380 0060 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
Say hello to your perfect shape with the Velform Cross Compression Shaper from JML. The incredible figure-enhancing shapewear with an X-Flex cross-panel design that instantly flattens your tummy, shaping away unwanted love handles whilst helping to smooth away back fat to minimise muffin tops. It's comfortable to wear all day and it's discreet so it won't show under your clothes. Achieve the silhouette you've always wanted with the Velform Cross Compression Shaper. Only $19.99 from Asda, Boots, Morrisons, Tesco and jmldirect.com.
Dealing with my lot means making smart choices. And with our family growing, I want to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm calling Smart Insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age.
Brilliant.
If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And could help my husband pay off the mortgage.
With our Smart Family Guarantee and 99% of claims having been paid, you'll have peace of mind.
I'll go ahead.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cashback on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
Welcome back to the big headline, the political face-off over Nehru's original letters. Well, the Prime Minister's Museum and Library, which was formerly Nehru Museum and Library, has asked Rahul Gandhi to return Nehru's original letters. Some of them, of course, include his letters to Lady Mountbatten and also Einstein. This, of course, as the BJP says that these letters are being censored. Remember, it was back in 2008 when public access to these letters was withdrawn. These letters are currently in the custody of Sonia Gandhi. In fact, the BJP also plans to raise it in Parliament. The Congress says that this is nothing but an attempt to divert attention from real issues. Take a look at all the reactions that have come in.
मैंने सितंबर 2024 को श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी जी को एक पत्र लिखकर रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि आपके द्वारा प्रधानमंत्री संग्रहालय यानी कि पहले जो नेहरू मेमोरियल म्यूजियम लाइब्रेरी हुआ करता था, वहाँ से जो नेहरू कलेक्शंस में से करीबन 8 अलग अलग सेक्शंस के 51 कार्टून आपने विड्रॉ किए हैं, वो या तो संस्था को वापस लौटाए जाए या हमें उसे देखने की, स्कैन करने की परमिशन दी जाए या उसका कॉपी आपके द्वारा स्कैन कॉपी हमें उपलब्ध कराया जाए, जिससे हम उसका अध्ययन कर सके, संशोधन कर सके। उनकी तरफ से कोई प्रत्युत्तर न आने से मैंने विपक्ष के नेता और उनके सुपुत्र श्री राहुल गांधी जी को रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि आप हमें ये वापस दिलाने में मदद करें।
Mr. Rizwan Qadri has written to Mr. Rahul Gandhi and asking Sonia Gandhi to disclose and to submit those letters which she has in possession regarding Jawaharlal Nehru. How do you respond to such request of the PMML members?
So this is quite intriguing and quite astonishing that way back in 2008, just before the digitalization of these letters which belonged to the public, this is the property of the public. Jawaharlal Nehru's letter to Edwina Mountbatten, Jawaharlal Nehru's letter to and correspondence with Jai Narayan ji, all